Welcome to the Passion for Pencils podcast. In this podcast, we talk about art supplies, pencils, paints, papers, coloring books, inspiration, and much more. This podcast is also an invitation to grab your pencils and paints right now and do some joyful coloring or painting while listening. Welcome to episode 4 of the Passion for Pencils podcast. It is February and I am having sort of a fight with a bunch of birds. You won't believe it. But here in the garden we have bird feeders and they are being hijacked by jackdaws. In Dutch we call those birds koutjes. Very friendly, we say little jackdaws, koutjes. But the group that is living here around the house is not so friendly. It's a type of bird that is in the family of the crows. They are very intelligent and they continue to try to keep all the bird food to themselves. They chase away other birds, and so I had enough of it, and last week I dedicated hours to teach them that this food is not just for them. And because they are very, very intelligent, I didn't see them for 2 whole days after that day when I became a little bit angry with them. So they have been coming back, but not with a group of 15. So things are improving. They are learning. February means winter time here in the Netherlands, but it is also the first step towards springtime. The snowdrops in our garden are blooming already, and other flowers like tulips, daffodils, crocuses are starting to grow their leaves. With a little bit of luck, February will give us a couple of beautiful sunny days. I love those February sunny days because then you can feel that the sun is gaining warmth again. I really enjoy that. For me, February is also a waiting game for the trees to grow leaves again. Nature to me is not complete without the lush green foliage of shrubs and trees, but for that I'll need to wait until late April. So here in the Netherlands, nature is completely in bloom in the month of May, not earlier than that. And that is why the month of May is my most favorite month. I find it the most beautiful month of the year because of those fresh green tones, the flowers, the insects buzzing in the garden, the birds singing, but also the light. The sunlight has a very special quality in the month of May, especially in the evening. I love it. Yesterday morning when I woke up, I heard the first blackbird singing, and there is no bird that sings more beautifully than a blackbird, in my opinion. So, springtime is on its way, and I cannot wait. I thought this time in this podcast I will tell you a little bit about artists that I am following on the internet. I'm following quite a few, both on YouTube and on Instagram, and there is one that I find very interesting, and it is a watercolor artist. His channel is called Namil Art. I have no idea if I pronounce it correctly, but he has a great channel. I don't know much about him other than that he is a watercolor artist and a lecturer at a university in South Korea. So he's a Korean, I guess. I can highly recommend the Namil Art YouTube channel if you want to learn more about mixing colors and how you build your paintings. He shows the color palette that he uses in his paintings. Most of the time his color palette is quite small, and that makes the painting process not too complicated. He shows you that with only a dozen colors you can paint basically anything you like. And one color that stood out for me recently that he is using is Hookah's Green. Hookah's Green is quite a standard color in the watercolor palette, but I don't use it very often because it frightens me. It is so strong, but of course you need to mix it and then it becomes a very, very versatile color, very valuable for your painting. So I will have to dig up my Hookah's Green and see what I can do with it. So take a look at Namil Art. He is both on YouTube and on Instagram. Maybe he's on Facebook too, but I'm not that active on Facebook, so I don't know that. I follow more artists, so in the next podcasts I will tell you a little bit about the other ones that I am following. Many of them are watercolor artists, but there are a few of pencil artists also. And actually oil paint artists also. I don't do oil painting, but I find it very inspiring to see what people do with that beautiful medium. The last couple of years, the world of art materials has been flooded with art materials from China. In China, the production costs are lower, so it seems, but in many cases the quality is, to be honest, lower too. In my experience, some Chinese art materials are just really bad, but others are quite useful and good, like some of the colored pencils. Now, I had the opportunity of trying several colored pencils from China, made in China, and one of them ended up as one of my favorite pencils when it comes to coloring in a coloring book. And some others, although different brands, they turned out to be exactly the same pencil. So how is that possible? So let's talk about 3 brands that sell Chinese pencils, and then I'll tell you a little bit about my whereabouts with them. The first one is Arteza. Arteza is a USA-based, it's an American company, but they have their products manufactured in China. And they have several colored pencil lines, and one of them, the Expert Colored Pencils, I had the opportunity of trying them. I like them a lot, very much. This is the one that is my favorite when it comes to just splashing color in a coloring book, because the quality of this pencil is so good. It is a sturdy pencil, but it has a softness and a richness to the tones. You can blend with it them. They keep their point fairly good, so it really fits my hand, this pencil. I love it. There's one downside about it, and that is the name and the implication. No, that's not a good word. They make it look like it is a professional pencil with a good light fastness. That is not the case. The light fastness, although there are stars on the pencils, don't believe them. It's rubbish. You cannot compare light fastness of these Chinese pencils with, let's say, Derwent Lightfast, Caran Luminance, Polychromos from Faber-Castell. That is really a different ball game. Those very expensive pencils, they are the real deal for the artists who want their work to hang on the wall. I'm sure there will be really Lightfast pencils somewhere in China, because there must be thousands of very good Chinese pencil artists who want to use a Lightfast pencil. So I'm sure it is out there somewhere. But it's not among the 3 brands that I'm talking about right now. And not Arteza also. So these Arteza Expert Colored Pencils, they are about $55. I think I saw $55 or $57 for 120 pencils. It's not the cheapest, but I think it is the best price for what you get. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I can highly recommend them, and I will put a link in the description of this video so you can take a look at them. Then there are 2 other Chinese pencils that I had the opportunity to try. There was one, the Magicfly, that I received from the company, Magicfly. By the way, the Arteza pencils were sent to me by Arteza. I made a review about them. And that is on my YouTube channel. So back to the Magicfly pencils. They are a very decent quality pencil, slightly harder than the Arteza pencils, and so you have to press a little bit harder to get the color on the paper. But they are very friendly pencil. You can do great things with them. They also have the light fastness stars on the barrel of the pencil. I don't believe anything about those stars. But other than that, it is a good quality pencil for coloring books, just sketching, whatever. Really good. But not as rich as the Arteza Expert Colored Pencils. Then the 3rd brand, H&B Art, I received those from a viewer from the United Kingdom, I think, yes. Thank you. And I had, of course, the opportunity to try them. And while trying them, I had the feeling that these H&B Art colored pencils are exactly the same as the Magicfly's ones. So I took them together and I took a good look at them, and I know for sure that they are made in exactly the same factory. No doubt about it. Exactly the same feel, the same look of the pencil barrel. The only difference is what you print on the barrel. So the Magicfly pencils say it's Magicfly with a color name and a number and the light fastness rating. The H&B Art pencils, they state it's H&B Art with a color name, a number, and no light fastness rating. And I find that very refreshing, very honest, and therefore I say kudos to H&B Art for not misleading us by trying to sell so-called light fast pencils. They don't, they just say this is a pencil and we do not pretend that there is some sort of light fastness there. H&B comes from China, Shanghai. That's the company that's the city where the company is has its residence. And Magicfly, as far as I know, had its residence in Hong Kong. I'm not exactly sure if that is still the case, but I'm quite sure it was Hong Kong, China. So these 3 pencils are overall good quality. And actually, it's quite easy to start your own brand with Chinese pencils. I took a dive into the world of white label pencils. Is that I'm thinking, is that the right term for it? You can buy a pencil line in a factory in China, and then you tell them what you want, what your brand name is, and what the names is that you want to put on the pencil, and they do it for you. And then you can order your shipment, and it comes. Thousands of pencils come to you. I've been looking at the how that works. It works very easily. You can just order it on the internet. Yeah, right. Wow. For 1 minute I thought about doing that. Just starting my own pencil line with pencils from China. But there's only one thing. I cannot figure out how, if it's possible to that they send me testing materials. And there's actually only one type of pencils from China that I would like to sell, and that is the Arteza Expert Colored Pencil. So, and I haven't found that one particular one in the huge list of pencil types that is available. So, well, it's very interesting. Maybe I should dive deeper into that world, and then I'll get back to you with more information, maybe. What's on my desk? Well, there's a watercoloring book on my desk, the one that I am creating myself, and I started painting the first sketch. I have been making a couple of sketches, and now I'm testing them by starting to throw paint at them. And I'm exploring a loose style of painting with a limited palette. And I think I'll do this painting a second time because my color choices were not that handy in hindsight. So I'll try a different palette once this first version is finished, I think. And I consider this first version to be a study, just like the great painters did and still do. They make study paintings first before creating a masterpiece. So, well, look at the bright side. And I'm having a lot of fun, but because I want it to be a loose style, I really have to do this once for a second reason, because right now I am not painting with the loose style. I'm not splashing the watercolors on my paper, and that is what I'm looking for. So I need to do some tweaking and tweaking. I need to do some tweaking, find another palette and another style, but it's fun, so I'm working on that. Well, that's about it for the month of February. And March, looking at March, what is going to happen then? Well, I'm not exactly sure yet, but maybe my husband and I will have a little trip, a week of vacation. I'm really looking forward to it. It's not sure yet whether that can take place or not, but we are looking for destinations, and actually we have no idea where to go. It could be very close to home or a couple of thousand kilometers south. We'll see. So you will hear about that probably in the next episode next month. So wishing you a lot of happy painting, happy coloring, and enjoy springtime as far as that is possible in the region where you live. And well, I'll hear you in the next episode. Bye bye.